Hello and welcome back to NoBS. Today we return to talking about Portland. Portland, Oregon has been very, very troubled for many weeks now. About 2 months, there's been riots and demonstrations nearly every day. Things are going very, very badly there. There's been fires in the streets. Things are being torn down. The city's being destroyed. And the cops and the law enforcement and the people that are in charge there have done very little to really stop it. They're just kind of standing down. A lot of it has to do with the liberal leadership trying to pretend nothing's happening there. And they're really trying their darndest to pretend this whole situation doesn't exist. I mean, the news organizations are covering for them. They're pretending that nothing happened, and nothing sums up that bad premise more than what's going on today. Today, we're talking about Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. She works for President Trump. She does his press briefings, and she also delivers information to the public in honest ways. That's what's happening now. She's showing videos. In her recent press conference, she showed video of the Portland riot saying, hey, America, this is happening. This is real. Don't let the fake news people hide it from you. Don't let the Portland representative pretend nothing's going wrong there. We talked about that guy. We talked about their representative pretending nothing was happening. We've seen it in the news get covered up. And they're also trying to cover up this press conference. In fact, Kayleigh McEnany had a press conference, as you could see by this tweet here. This is from Andy. He says, video from my reporting and others on the Portland riots were shown at the White House press conference today. Some of the content is so extreme that Fox News cuts away. Now, this is questionable because, they're saying that it was so extreme that they cut away here. I think he might actually be sarcastic or joking, but because people are actually accusing Fox News of covering this up too. They don't want to show how bad the riots are. Fox has been accused of being a biased outlet too. They're actually starting to lean towards the left sometimes. They have a few great shows on there like Tucker Carlson. Greg Gutfeld is a good host on Fox. But besides that, they're actually starting to wane and maybe even cave in and go against the American people and against Trump, and they cut away from this. So that was a bad look. But let's go ahead and check it out ourselves, and then we'll see the video and everything.
Trump administration will not stand by and allow anarchy in our streets. Law and order will prevail. And I have a short video for you because I want it to be real, what is happening right now in Portland. So if we could play that video, that'd be great.
You can already see it's sending a strong message. Obviously, there's a lot of violence there. They're tearing down statues. They're bashing down buildings. They're smashing things. Things are going on fire. And Kayleigh is strong and very, very confident in showing us this. She has the TV screens behind her. It sends a good message. It's putting it right in the face of this White House press corps. So you got to remember, this press room is filled with reporters from each of the major outlets in America, and most of them are hiding this story. I mean, some of them are honest. Some people are talking about it. Of course, there's a few, but in general, there is a big cover-up going on, and that's why they want to send this strong message.
I hope someone kills your whole family.
That wasn't me, Holly.
I hope they kill you too. I hope someone burns down your whole precinct with all y'all inside. Can't wait to see it.
As you can see, that is anything but a peaceful protest.
All right. We were not expecting that video, and our management here at Fox News has decided we will pull away from that at this time. I want to.
They already pretty much showed the whole thing, though. I don't know why they wanted to pull away. It seems really odd, right? Like, they showed most of it. I was wondering what was going on. And by the way, the lady at the end of that video saying that she wants all the cops to die and their families to die. I mean, really crazy people, right? Like, I mean, I know she might seem hyperbolic or like she's half joking, but these people do want us dead. They do want to destroy our country, our society. They want to remove all the cops, take down everything, like take down the president, take over with this new whatever, I don't know, communist, race-based woke activism is going to take over. It's going to be a real nightmare if we really put these kinds of people in charge. And I think that that's the greater point is there's this chaos. and it's happening in Portland. It's happening in these West Coast places. Seattle had the Chaz Autonomous Zone. There's been demonstrations on a lot of coastal cities, a lot of big cities, but mostly it's Democratic areas. It's very, very Democrat run, liberals all over the place in Seattle, in Portland, in California, in New York, all these places. Minneapolis and Atlanta had those bad incidents, those arrests gone wrong. And it's just coming from poor leadership with the left. They just encourage this violence. They look away. They tell the police to stand down and let these people go crazy and destroy stuff. And then they also will race bait things, like those arrests gone wrong will get race baited by the local politicians, the people in the area. Next thing you know, there's people in the news talking about it, acting like there's racism when there's really none proven to be had. And that's just what we're dealing with. Trisha Flanagan here has more details. She has the full video before Fox cut it off. So let's see if there's anything else to be seen here. So I think it's the same video again. We could see people getting beat up, like lots of people in riot gear. The fire statue on fire getting tore down, graffiti, swear words on the statues, people setting up walls. Apparently walls are okay now. Walls are interesting in a comeback, even though they were supposedly called racist before. Things on fire, people beating up cops. I mean, this is the lady again. I mean, it's like, how do you think you're the hero if you're out there dressed up in this whole gear? Like, you're all black, you got masks and helmets on, and you're going to bash stuff. Like, what makes them think they're in the right? It's so ridiculous that that's the case, that these people think they're winning or something. They think they're saving the planet and stopping racism or whatever they might believe. I mean, I just think they want to cause chaos. I think obviously this is related to the election. There's an election coming up in November, of course. We're about 100 days away from voting. And that's why they want the country to get crazy. They want everyone on edge. So there's a lot of combined things here. Like, for example, first we had the virus pop up, and that was a terrible problem. Obviously, it existed, but it was also overblown by the media, and they've used it for their political motivated things. Like, they've tried to shut things down more. They wanted to crash the economy. They don't want people to go to school. They want everyone sitting at home, watching TV, getting this terrible, biased, liberal propaganda fed to them. And they want us scared. They want people scared. They want the country to seem like it's worse than it is. Because if the country would stay good, like at the beginning of the year when unemployment was down, the economy was booming, like everyone was happy and working, that's not a good situation for the Democrats. They want to win this election. They want to beat Trump. So the worse the country looks, the more people will think that's Trump's fault. When really it doesn't make sense, because obviously it's these liberals in their cities and states that are all being crazy and chaotic. Like, everyone else is usually fine. Like, most of the middle America is fine as long as you're not really close to these cities and you can stay inside if you are. So that's the real bogus thing, but it's just how it is. That's how optics work. They're not always fair. They're not always rational or reasonable. Like, sometimes things just look bad, even if it's not your fault. And that's what they're going for here. They're trying to bring down the country, and they're trying to tear it apart from the inside. And then on top of that, what's the more main point for today's story is the press is trying to cover up this Portland story. They're trying to act like nothing's going on there. We've seen them do it multiple times. We had a whole video about their representative going to Congress and pretending nothing was wrong and nothing was going on and saying, oh, if you send someone else in to help us, we're going to stop them. Like, that's fascism. But it's like, no, Portland needs help. Like, they need to fix this stuff right away. Like, they're really in a bad shape. And it's just getting out of control. And it's also cyclical. Like we mentioned last time, this happened in 2016. These places riot every election year. Anytime Trump gets involved too, they just want to go after conservatives, white people, Christians, like average Americans. And it's really, really bad to watch. It's hard to watch. It's very, very telling, very disturbing. And yeah, it's politically motivated, as they say, as I'm going to be saying a lot leading up to the election. Like, everything during the election year has to do with the election. So this is part of that. The whole rioting is part of it. Then the media covering up. And then now we're getting to the point where the press secretary has to do the reporting for our country. Kayleigh McEnany is a hero. She did the right thing when she said, check this out. This is a bad story. And, they're saying they're trying to go against it. It says Trump's press secretary aired a propaganda like video of Portland protests that was so disturbing, Fox News cut away from it. So that's the angle they're going for, but I didn't see it as like that disturbing. Like, it was definitely bad. I mean, it's not like you can't watch it. Like, it's got bad images. It is disturbing, but not in this way. Like, I don't get what they're saying. Like, they act like she's sharing propaganda. I mean, this is just footage from these events. Like, how is that propaganda like? I think it's more propaganda like that the media is covering this up and trying to make this new angle like, oh, even Fox News cut away, like, because Fox News is usually supposed to be on the conservative side. But as we said in the beginning, they're getting more and more biased there. They're falling apart a little bit at Fox News. They still have a few good shows. Tucker is like an American legend. But aside from a few good apples, most of them are bad at Fox News. So I think that point is bunk. And I think this isn't propaganda. Like, this is just putting sunlight on this problem, showing it to the world. And it's needed to be said because, I mean, these reporters and these news agencies are pretending it's not happening. That about wraps things up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment your thoughts on everything below. Tell me what you think about Kayleigh, these videos, Portland, and all that. We'll talk about it in the comments section. Also, hit the like button to get this video shared. And until next time, have a great day.